am here with the beautiful, amazing Sundari Moneek, who
Hi,
is
everybody.
Yes. Hi, Sundari, who is the owner of Sanktuari or Sanctuary of Self here in the West End of Atlanta. By the way, this is another episode of Luminescence on the Debra show. So, and I'm just so excited to be here. I'm so honored to have you on here, and
I'm honored to be interviewed. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, so Sundari is the owner of Sanctuary of Self. She is the creator of this beautiful space, which is a metaphysical shop, healing,
metaphysical boutique or wellness boutique here in the West End, and we specialize in things that help to raise your vibrational frequency, tools, experiences, services, and just overall well-being. So our goal is to promote higher living, higher consciousness, raise the conscious vibration in the neighborhood and for our clients, our customers, ourselves, and all those we associate with.
Yes, amazing. Yeah. And so before you started the shop, you are a costume.
I'm a costume supervisor
in the film industry. So you have a lot of creative experience already, and like artistic direction.
I have some, yes.
And I'm so excited. I mean, when I think I found out through your Instagram that this place was open.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's so amazing.
Well, thank you.
There's just like it seems like there's more and more people awakening to spirituality right now.
It is that time, as it has been prophesized, as we know, all those who are honoring themselves and in a place of awareness, and even if you're not, it's just a sign of the time. So it's it's part of the universal law and part of universal consciousness. So with that being said, it's going to happen to you whether you choose it or not. Now, if you choose it, then that helps to magnify it. And if you go against it, well, there's karma for that too.
So how do you, so by the way, we're sitting here in your you have a healing room in the back.
Yes, this is our healing space.
Yeah.
Our meditation, services, therapy, all of the work happens here in this room. So
amazing. And then in the front, there are all these crystals and sage and Palo Santo and jewelry and yoni eggs and I'm just naming some of the things that stand out to me, and like shea butter products and books and clothing, like conscious.
You're doing a great job,
right? Because I'm into it. I'm into it. So and it's significant to me to have like I feel like there's so many new metaphysical places and business popping up, and especially with like the West End developing and changing, to have like a space that's Black owned feels really significant and important.
It is significant. It's significant, one, because we're a Black owned business in a Black owned and an operated building, and we are part of the regentrifying of our own neighborhood. So it's about reinvesting in self. It is about uplifting not only our emotional, spiritual state, but as well as our physical. And I think that's just as important. So we want to feel beautiful. We want to look at things that are beautiful. We want to have beautiful experiences, and those things come when we invest back into ourselves. So
right. So amazing. And for people that are in Atlanta, I've been telling people about your store as well. So I tell them there's like this one strip, and there's literally like all conscious businesses, the whole row. It's like Vegan Dream Doughnuts, and there's a Muslim temple right here, and
there's
then
a mosque,
and
a yoga studio behind
Southwest Atlanta Yoga, and then
us. And the next door we have there are the suites, and they're massage therapists, tattoo artists, hairdressers, and someone who does yoni steaming. So we like to call it the wellness block. And we have Afro Central Network in the front, and then there's a Caribbean spot, there's Bakari's Pizza, and they carry a great vegan menu.
Oh, wow.
And there's a nail bar up there. There's a tire shop. So it's all encompassed in this one.
Yeah, it's so amazing. It's like a spiritual vortex over here.
Well, that's what we're working towards. That's really what we're working towards. So, you know, and it's not just us. It's the collective in the West End. So there's several businesses opening, and there's several businesses that are already open and that support a holistic lifestyle. So.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about the name Sanktuari, and how did you choose that name, or Sanctuary of Self?
Yes. Well, the name Sanktuari comes from a vacation that I took several years back. That was pretty amazing. The place I stayed at was called the Sanktuari, and it was a very defining point. And that name just stuck with me. And when I was meditating on what the name should be, the word sanctuary came up, and I liked it. It felt good. It felt right, because when we go to a place that we would call a sanctuary or a temple or a church or an altar or somewhere that we go to that space to go inwards or to acknowledge our higher selves or to tune into to our Godhead. And in that, we decided that it would be Sanctuary of Self, because there is no sanctuary without the self, and the true sanctuary is internal. So the omnipotent, omnipresence, we are connected to that. So it's about going back into ourselves and acknowledging what is important to us as individuals, and understanding that that true sanctuary lies in our mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, etheric body. So
yeah, thank you. And then I'm curious too. Well, so first of all, I know about you that you've been into spirituality and this lifestyle for a while.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
The one thing that I can say that was a turning point, because we all have them, those crossroads or those places of advancement. There was a book that I read, and it was called Spiritual Awakening. Go figure. And that was kind of my initial introduction. And then I was introduced to Native American medicine, and that was a catapult for me. Doing sweat lodges and ceremony and long dances, and that really was the impetus to where I am today. I learned a lot. I was raised Catholic, and there was such a difference in this practice as opposed to how I was raised. How I was raised was always kind of, it was separate. It was something I did because that's what I was expected to do. But true understanding didn't come until I started on the journey inward. And Native American medicine really offered that door of enlightenment for myself. So I've also studied some Buddhism and Taoism and different martial arts forms and on and on and on. African spirituality across the board. And what I have found is they all say the same thing, different names, different cultures, different ideologies, but essentially it is about knowing the self and honoring the self and living in a place of spirit and not ego, living in a place of awareness and acceptance and not ego. So in that, what I have found is at the end of the day, nature it's my church.
Yeah.
So that is what I pay homage to, and the self, the spirit, that one thing that links us all and keeps us all connected. So
yeah, amazing.
It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Not to mention.
And you're a mother too. And,
oh yes, I am a mother of 6 children.
Okay.
And that has been a very enlightening experience, because what I've learned is as parents, we think we give all this to our children, and when we offer them the best of what we have, where we are at that time, and in that, their purity, when they come in, they teach us so much, and they give us so much more than we give them. And there's so much to learn from the innocence of a child and the fearlessness of a child. And I have to say that I've been blessed 6 times over. And
your children sometimes are here in the shop.
Oh yeah, they're always here. They're always around the peripheral. If they're not in here, they're around. It's a family business, yes. So I couldn't do it without them. And at the end of the day, it is for them, because it's about generational wealth, and it's about building a business as a family and as a collective. And there's no way I could do it without them. So yeah, it's my basketball team.
Yeah. Well, I'm inspired by you, because like you could have chosen not to open this space. You could have because you already have a career, and I mean, I don't know all the name dropping and all that, but I'm sure you've worked with some A-list celebrities and on some A-list, you know, sets and everything. And so for you to have that full career, and then to say, you know what, like, I'm called to do more, to do something more, feels really inspiring to me.
You definitely hit the nail on the head. It was about an assignment, and it was an assignment from Spirit. And one of the things, for anybody who knows me, spirituality to me is like it's my everyday, it's my all day. And I'm not super overly religious, but when it comes to spirit, I take things very seriously. And it was an assignment that was given to me from the spirit world. So in me being obedient, I have done what I was asked to do. And in that, you know, there's other phases to this. There's other parts of the assignment. But in me being obedient to my higher self and to the community at large, and to better this world from my perspective, this is my offering. So
yeah, it's inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. So amazing. Yeah. And you have events here. I went to a couple of events where you had tea ceremony and speakers and music and
always music. Always music. Our last event we had was the Zen Zulu tea ceremony, and in addition to that, there was a sister who came and who does wonderful beaded work out of South Africa, and these wonderful beaded necklaces, and she spoke about the tradition of the beadwork and the symbology and the relationship of that tribe to the United States, and very interesting stuff. So we try to have events in that are not only culturally important, but are fun. Because I really believe fun is a big part of spirituality.
Yes.
Fun and community oriented. And at the end of the day, this space is about the community. It is about you, it's about me, it's about you and us as a collective, and the collective healing of our community.
So amazing. Do you feel that like I'm sure you're familiar, I don't know everything about it, but like in terms of like affecting like the grid lines of things and frequencies of places, I can imagine that you being here, like specifically here and in this neighborhood, and just like anchoring this space here, it's doing something energetically.
It is definitely doing something energetically. Within the last year, this neighborhood is pretty much taking a 180. When I was led to this space, which was the group of Spirit, when I was led to this space, it was completely empty. It was really a mess at the end of the day. But I like to believe, and what I do know, is that us anchoring here and raising the vibration has helped some of the other businesses, and people pay attention to what's going on here, and it's been definitely a snowball effect, which is, it's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing, and it's really a beautiful thing to know that you were one of the impetus to helping to beautify the area. So, you know, as far as locations go, in my quiet time and in my meditation, it was important to me to be in the West End because of the energy of the West End. You talk about the ley lines and the grids, and you know, it's really important to be in a place that is not contradictory to what you're doing. And that's a whole other discussion in and of itself. But I was led here, and in being led here, you know, it was the path of least resistance. It was actually quite easy. So with that being said, I knew that I was supposed to be in the area, and it was just a matter of being open to the possibilities, and Spirit put it on my path, and I just opened the door.
So amazing. And for people that are not familiar with Atlanta, who are watching, the West End is a historically Black neighborhood where a lot of the HBCUs are, Spelman, Morehouse, Clark.
Right up the block.
So, and it's also like, it's become a real hub for holistic businesses, holistic Black-owned businesses.
Cultural,
I mean, it always has been a hub, but it's like more and more. It has been,
and I think it's going into another phase, you know, and there are a lot of, just in the last year, again, I can think of maybe 5 different businesses that have opened up on the Abernathy, Lee, you know, this whole kind of corridor, the West View over there, Slutty Vegan, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with. There's just a couple blocks away. Tassili's is down the street. You know, so it's a lot of energy being focused back into the community, and an appreciation for the space. So it's so amazing.
I feel like we'll probably have viewers of all different cultures, like
which is important.
Some who are Black, some who are white, some who are, you know, all different cultures. So, but it's just from my perspective, it feels incredibly important as the neighborhood is gentrifying or change, you know, for new businesses to be Black owned, and for the vibration to be raised by Black owned businesses here, and it's really exciting. So
it is exciting, and it's exciting to watch the building and the manifestation of it, because too often we see it, the degradation, or we see it in the negative, but it really is a positive movement, and it is about holistic living, and that's across the board. So no matter who you are and whose you are, you can come here and get things and participate in events and support businesses that are about supporting the individual, the spirit, healthy minds, healthy bodies, and really who are concerned with an organic way of living. And there's nothing wrong with technology and how things are growing, because it's just the natural phase of things, but it's important that we stay connected to self, we stay connected to community, because really at the end of the day, that ego, that separation, that is the death. Is when you are separated and you are not in accordance and in harmony and in balance with the self, and the self being the greater self.
So you created a space where people can connect with themselves and with community.
Yes.
So amazing.
Well, thank you.
So do you want to share, I guess that we can share the address and the hours and so. Well, I want to say too. So yeah, everybody, when you come to the West End and you're going to Tassili's or you're going to Slutty Vegan or Healthful Essence or wherever else you go, you can just stop in. It's right here. Just grab a stick of Palo Santo, some sage, or I bought a journal here. You know, your prices are really reasonable on like the crystals compared to some other places. So
well, it's really about people having the tools, and it's about fairness. You know, I think fairness is really important, and it's not always part of the capitalistic mentality, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's business at the end of the day. So, you know, I feel like we price accordingly, and we hope that you all come in and have a wonderful experience at the Sanctuary. Our address is 568 Lee Street, Unit I. However, we are located actually on Pool Place, but if you GPS it, it's going to take you to the front of the building where Afrocentric Network is, which is a wonderful store that you should visit as well. But we're located on the side. So we're right across the street from the parking lot at Wells Fargo. If you know where Vegan Dream Doughnuts is, we're 2 doors down from that. So
and there's always parking on the street, and there's a parking lot that's free parking.
Plenty of parking, so when we have our events, don't worry, plenty of parking.
And then how can people find you online, your website, Instagram?
Yes. Our website is sanctuary.com, and our IG is Sanctuary, spelled Sanktuarii. And it is the same on Facebook. So
amazing. So all the links are posted under this video.
Okay.
So everybody can just go under and get the links. Click and come by and
check us out.
Check out and say hi to Sundari
and if nothing else, just come by and take a breath of fresh air and just be at peace, because what we offer here is a peaceful, loving, tranquil environment. So
yes, I feel that.
So
thank you so much. I'm like, did we miss anything? What else?
I
think
that covers it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And thank you all for watching and listening. And when you get an opportunity, stop by the Sanctuary itself.
Yay! And if you enjoyed watching this, you can go ahead and like and leave a positive comment and share it with people that you know, and spread the love, spread the word.
Spread the love, spread the word.
All
and
right.
#SOS, we are saving ourselves with the Sanctuary itself.
SOS.
#SOS. So,
thank you.
Thank you.